I'm Passion, and I'm going to tell you how not to do the very thing I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how not to procrastinate or how to make it less severe. So, one thing I like to do when I have a lot of work is I like to lock myself away from the rest of the world. Okay, that sounds weird, but let me explain. When you're not around all of these people and all of your friends and all of your family, you have time to just focus. And focus is good for when you want to get all your work done. And when you're procrastinating, you're basically not focusing. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, one of the ways I like to not procrastinate is I like to make sure I have time to just lock myself away from the rest of the world. Another thing that I like to do when to lessen my procrastination is I like to just feel out what the work is. A lot of the reasons people procrastinate is because they think they're gonna have a whole bunch of work to do, so they keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and it just piles up. So, to make the procrastination less, when you get your assignment, just page through it and see what it's about, see what's going on, and then you'll find out if it's actually going to be a lot of work or if it's not. Try a problem out. So when you get your work, do one of the problems or try writing a paragraph or something and see how it goes. If it's going pretty smoothly, just finish it out. And then you won't have to worry about it later. If you feel like it's going to take you a long time, doing part of it actually will make it easier to finish if you do decide to put it off for another 3 days or something. So if I get a lot of work, like a couple of problems to do in the book or a paper to write, I try to do some of those problems and see how hard they are, how difficult they are, if I'm gonna do them now. And if they're easy, I finish them up. If they're a little difficult or if they're a little crazy, I put them away for a bit and I think about them later. If it's a paper, I see what the paper's about, I think about it, and then I try to write out some ideas. Excuse me. I try to write up some ideas. And if the ideas are flowing, if it's looking okay to me, I finish up what I can, and then I put it aside and come back to it later. If it's not really working for me, okay, yeah, I'll put it away for another week or depending on how much longer I have, and then I come back to it. But if I get a few ideas, but then I get stuck, I'll always have that first part that I started, and it'll probably help me generate a few more ideas later. So starting your work or checking it out before it's due will help you finish it later, even if you don't finish it at that time. If you're a really strong procrastinator, because I am. I really am. And I know other people are too. So that's one of the good things. One of my favorite things to do when I know I'm going to procrastinate and I might end up waiting till the last minute anyway is writing out my homework. So, all of you internet lovers and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and die-hard texters, put your electronics away because we're going to bring out our old friends. So, remember these guys? Oh, pen and paper, pencil and paper, bring them out because you're going to need them. Using pen or pencil and paper and just writing your homework out by hand is the best way to get it done without any distractions, without making you end up procrastinating in the middle of everything. So when I feel like I have like a long assignment that I've been putting off for a long time and I'm waiting until the last minute, like the day before to do it, I pull out my pen and paper and I sit in my room locked away and I put all my electronics away. I don't type up my paper until the end. And I write out my whole paper. I write everything out, all the way to the conclusion and the bibliography, everything. And this is like the best way that I get all of my work done. I don't type anything up because electronics are a distraction. even if you're typing up your paper and you think you're going to be like really dedicated to it and you're not going to go anywhere else, that's bullshit. I was going to tell you right now, that's not true. You're going to go all across the scope of the internet. You're going to have to look up a word, and you're going to somehow end up on Facebook because you wanted to look up how to spell fucking entrepreneur, and somehow you're on your best friend's fucking Facebook page looking at their new pictures that they took when they were on vacation. You don't want to end up doing that. If you want to look up a word, get a dictionary. Paper is the best way to go. Paper and all forms. Get a paperback dictionary. Get a pen and paper. Write your homework out. Get a paper to jot something down to check the spelling. Do not use your spell check on your phone or your computer or any other electronic device. Put them all away because they're not your friend. They're not at all, and they're going to just make you procrastinate even longer. So, like I was saying, pull your old friends out and write your homework out. Another thing I like to do, other than, locking myself away, writing my homework out, all that, I like to put on some music to get me in the mood. Thinking about homework, it makes you all sad and you're depressed and you're like, I don't want to do my homework. Who wants to do homework? Or whatever you have to do, your work for work. I don't know. But when you think about things that you have to do, like, or just need to do them because consequences will happen if you don't, it's kind of like, I don't want to do this. I'd rather be doing something fun. I'd rather, go outside and look at nature or surf the web or talk to my friends, even though you don't really want to talk to your friends because your friends are annoying you right now. But you'd rather do that than do your work. Yeah. What you want to do is find some music to get you in the mood. If you're a person who can listen to music while you're doing your work, get you some music. Like, dance around a bit, not too much, because then you'll be distracted and you'll start dancing around the whole house and work won't get done. Just like get yourself in the mood. Like, yeah, this is some good relaxing music, or this is some good upbeat music to make you just like get your brain juices flowing. Listen to the lyrics for once. Get your brain juices flowing, and then just sit down and sit at a table or somewhere, do your work. If you're one of those people that like ends up falling asleep during the work, don't do your work in the living room and don't do your work in your bedroom. Go to the kitchen or the dining room table and do your homework. And I find when I end up waiting to do my work and I wait to the last minute, it's like 10 o'clock at night and I have to get up in 3 hours. I find that sitting at the dining room table or the kitchen table and doing my work keeps me awake and it keeps me doing my work. And it keeps me from being distracted by like the color of the wall for some reason because that's so much more interesting than doing my homework. So to keep yourself from procrastinating longer, just get yourself in a good mood and just relax and listen to music and get your head in a focused space and do your work. Just sit down and just do it. And like I said just now, another way to keep yourself from procrastinating or falling asleep, which is a way of procrastinating. Oh, I feel like I need a nap today. Yes. No, you don't need a nap. You're okay. Do your work. You should sit somewhere where you won't get too comfortable. If you're sitting at a dining room table or the kitchen table, you'll see that it's not comfortable. You're at this hard table, it's not comfortable at all, and you just want to get away. Finish your work and you can leave. That's like a surefire way to get your work done. I don't know if it's the best way to get it done efficiently, but it will get done. So sit somewhere where you're not super comfortable, where you don't feel like you'll fall asleep or get distracted or anything like that. Another way to keep procrastination from like totally ruining how you do your work is to do all your readings before you have to do any writing. Like if there's reading and then you have to write something about it, do the reading first. Do it early. If you commute and you take public transportation or something, do it on public transportation because then you won't have to do the reading and like spend hours trying to focus on the reading, and you can just go right to the writing. So what I like to do is, since I commute 3 hours, I do all of my reading on the buses home or to school. And by the time it's time for me to write, I've already read and processed what I've read, and I can just go right to writing. So, doing your reading first is a good way to get half of it done. That way, when you procrastinate to the last minute, 10 o'clock at night, the night before, whenever your writing is due, you'll already have read and you can just skim through and try to remember what you read and focus and process it a little bit and then go right to your writing. So doing any readings that you have first is a good way to help you with your procrastination. Another way to not procrastinate is to a lot of people like to set up dates or days of the week that they want to dedicate solely for homework. Try doing that. Like set up a day in the week, like pick out, like look at your schedule, see how it is, and then pick out the days that are most free for you and set aside a couple of hours, maybe 1, 2, 3 hours for your work and get it all done in that span of time or most of it done if you can, and then you won't end up procrastinating and waiting until the last minute to try to get everything done. You'll like have most of it done or all of it done, and then you can dedicate the rest of your time to fun, Facebook, whatever you people are into these days. Instagram. I don't even know what that's for. What is Instagram? But you can set aside a day to do your work or 2 days. I like to set aside weekends because my week is usually full. But setting aside 1 or 2 days for work is good. That way you can have time for like your social obligations and your work for your job and any other responsibilities that you have. So yeah, those are just a few ways that help me with my procrastination or help me not procrastinate or help me lessen severity of my procrastination and help me get my work done as efficiently as possible. So maybe they'll help you too. I just wanted to share that with you and help you out. Thanks.